Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. This is the cute little card we're making today. It's actually this little jar card and it's shaped like a jar and it opens up just like that. I just think it's darling and I just think it's just so cute and novel idea to have it like shaped like a little preserve, a little jam jar. So this one is Misty Moonlight and Strawberry Slush. We're going to do the reverse this time, so our card base is going to be Strawberry Slush. Stamp set I'm using is this one called Filled with Sweetness, and we're going to use this with the matching dies. And I'm going to use this big image to start off with to do some heat embossing. I've already cut out our card base out of Strawberry Slush, and this uses this big die here. And then I've also cut the topper out of Misty Moonlight using that die there. So let's get on and do some stamping. So we're going to heat emboss. So I need to use my powder tool to put down some powder, and this just ensures that my Versamark, my embossing powder will stick only where my Versamark is, and we're going to just stamp in Versamark. And a Versamark is a sticky ink used for heat embossing and for watermarking. So just give it a really good ink up. Make sure you catch all those pieces. And then I'm just doing this in a stamping tool. Stampin' Up have a lovely new stamping tool out, and I do have it, but it's downstairs. And I forgot to bring it up with me, so I'm just using what I have upstairs. Because those of you who follow me will know my craft room is too small for me to actually film in, so I have to film in the spare bedroom. So I don't have everything here, so I have to bring it all up with me. Sometimes I forget. So let's give it one more ink up. That looks good. Let's take this out of here. Move that away. Then work over a coffee filter, and I've got some white embossing powder in here, and I'm just going to cover it in the embossing powder and then shake off the excess. And I'm very messy when it comes to embossing powder, which is why I try to use the coffee filter to contain at least some of the mess. Though I do have a desktop hoover I can use to get rid of any excess powder. Now, there's any powder in the wrong place, which I don't think there is here. You can use a small paintbrush to remove that. So let's put this back in its little home. Actually, I haven't made too much of a mess today. Well, that's quite amazing in itself. Right, we're going to heat set this. So I'm just going to look for my, I don't know where it is, it's somewhere here, my silicone mat, as this is heat proof. And I'm going to take my heat tool, I'm going to heat it up for about 30 seconds away from my project, and then I'll bring it to the project, and this should help to stop anything warping. So I'll see you once I've done this. Okay, you'll know it's done when the powder changes from a dull white to a lovely glossy bright white. So now I'm going to use my bone folder just to fold on these score lines and get a really nice crisp fold. And there is your card base. So let's do our little inserts. Now for our insert, I've cut out another piece of the basic white, as you can see. And all I'm going to do is cut this in half. So I'm just going to use my trimmer today because I think it's going to be safer. I just want to make sure Though I have just a tiny bit less left on the one side so it doesn't go over the score line. Alright, use that for scrap or for another card. And then I'm going to just make sure that it fits properly, which it does. And let's stick this down. I'm not bothering to try and make a mat. It's just too much hassle with with a shape like this. And all I'm going to do is make sure nothing's hanging over the edge, and then give it a good press down. Yes, it all looks good. And there we've got our insert. So what I just made sure was that nothing went over the fold line, and that's exactly like that. Right, next piece. Next thing we're going to do, let me have a look and see. Where is it? We need our topper. And as I said, our lid is from Misty Moonlight. It's just going to fit over the top like this. Now I just want to give this a little bit of a pink. So I'm going to use my sponge daubers. Of course I get ink all over myself. I always do. And I'm just going to go around the edges with the sponge dauber just to deepen the colour. And this just gives it a lot of extra dimension and interest. So I think not always easy to see. And then I'm going to go, if you see the centre bit actually does fold, so you can make it 3D if you wish. I'm going to just fold that and then ink along that line as well. I think that will be enough there. Right, so we're going to put this down here. So I'm going to put some glue. Not going to the very edge, because there will be some overhang. I don't want that to have glue on it, so we can go down here. Right. And then I'm going to bring in this again, just so I hopefully don't get glue on my bread paper. And then I'm going to line this up and make sure it's roughly the same either side. And that looks good to me. Isn't that cute? Right. Let's set that aside to dry. You could pop this up if you want as well on some dimensionals or something like that. That would be cute as well. I'm going to do the stamping. And I think I'm going to stamp in, what shall we do? I think I'm going to go for Misty Moonlight. You could do Strawberry Slush, but Misty Moonlight I think will be a stronger colour. So we need a bit of scrap. So let's find a whole host of scraps here. Right. This piece will do fine here. Same stamp set as before. And we're going to do this from you can do You're the Sweetest. Oh, love you very much. I don't think I'll do You're the Sweetest. Do something different this time. So put this on my grid paper to get it straight. Good old-fashioned block. Ink that up nicely. Lovely. And then I'm going to cut it out using the star here. And I'm going to put that, so I'm going to put that through the die cutting machine and I'll be back. Okay, so we've die cut the sentiment out. So now I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Just to give it some extra something. And then also from the matching Homemade Sweetness Designer Series paper, I've cut out these two little, whatever you want to call them, jam jars. I just fussy cut them. They're very easy to do. And there's 2 sheets in your pages. Well, there's 2 of every design, but there's 2 sheets. One with the larger jam jars and one with the smaller ones. And I've used the smaller ones for this card. So I'll stick that down. And then we're going to put these on either side. So I'm going to want a little bit of dimension on the one side. So I'm going to look for my babies. I'm going to want I'm just going to half lie on the sentiment. I want it to still be popped up, so I'm going to put a little bit of dimension on one side and then a little bit of glue on the other. Just like that. And the same here. I'm just going to so that it's nice and even. Isn't that cute? So you could do this card without heat embossing the jar and it will look cute as well, but I think it really adds something to the whole effect. It's a really good reason to buy the whole bundle and get the whole bundle. And when I saw these in the online exclusives, I have to say it's one of the first things that went in my basket. I just loved these jam jars. We've had jar punches and other stuff in the past, but I just loved don't know, there's just something about the sweet. I got everything in the whole collection. I really loved it. So now I'm going to use the matching Misty Moonlight ribbon. That's one of the beauties about Stampin' Up! Is that everything is lovely matchy, so you don't have to take the hard work out for you. Now I'm going to stick this down. I made a bow, sort of, and I'm not going to fuss about it. I'm going to look for some, oh, here they are, some glue dots. And I'm going to just pick up a couple of glue dots. And then you can just put this where you want, but I think I'm going to go for the center again. And then put these away before they get lost. Sorry for the squeak. And then I've got these are the pearlized faceted gems. Now these don't go with the collection. They're from a different one, but I think they match perfectly. And I'm going to use these ones, and I'm just going to add a few here and there. You can also equally use rhinestones, and they will just look just as cute. So there you've got one version of the card. There you've got another, just opposite ways. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd be grateful if you would give it that big thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As I said, if you want any more information about the project, the supplier list, the measurements, everything is listed and linked below in the description box. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.